Hello friends! Welcome once again to another vlogmas video. Today is super exciting because I'm going book shopping, and you all, I have not been book shopping in probably months. It's been a really long time, and this is the first weekend I have not had anything going on in weeks, months. And I was like, you know what sounds perfect on this really gloomy rainy day, and that is book shopping, because I'm in the market for some new books. I've bought quite a few online, like here and there this year. I haven't really been book shopping like at all this year, and honestly I really miss it. I've just been so busy, and I just feel like taking myself on a book shopping date today, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna be going to 3 different bookstores. I have 2 local kind of like thrift stores that I love going to, which is Mr. K's, not McKay's, Mr. K's. I absolutely love them. They give great in-store credit, which is good because I actually have this bag of books here that I would really like to get rid of and just get some in-store credit or some cash back. And we also have Second and Charles, which I know a lot of like southern people have that, but I don't know if it's a thing up north. So we're gonna be going to Second and Charles, which I'm super excited for. Second and Charles is absolutely massive, and I could be in there for hours. So sometimes it's a hit or miss because you really have to be in the mood to really like look. But today I'm not really in the market for anything specific. May look for some gifts, but other than that, the only thing I can think of is I am really wanting to dive into some adult fantasy. As of recent, I realized how much like young adult fantasy I have, which is great, but I feel like I've almost outgrown that in a way, and I really want to just dive into adult fantasy and see what's out there. Other than that, I am not looking for anything specific, which could go really well or really poorly. I'm confident that we'll find at least one thing, and then of course we can't do a book shopping vlog without stopping by Barnes & Noble, so this could be quite the adventure, and I'm just wanting to treat myself. I've worked hard this year at work as a photographer in my business, and I just want to treat myself. To start us off though, I am going to swing by my favorite boba shop, which is called Ding Tea. Absolutely obsessed. I have not had boba in so long. I feel like boba and books is like my life motto, and one of my friends was like, you need to coin that and put that on like a t-shirt or sweatshirt, because she's like, I would buy it. So if you would buy it, let me know, and maybe I'll have to make that a thing in the new year. It's just a sweatshirt that says boba and books on it. So me. Anyways, I'm getting off track. Let's go get our boba. Let's get to shopping. I cannot wait to see what we find. Alright, so store number 1 out of 3 down. Unfortunately, I only found one book in there, but it is a good one that I'm excited about. In case I didn't mention this already, I'm going to do a book haul when I get home. So I actually brought in some pretty good books, like a couple book of the month, a new release, like whole trilogy of like a young adult series, and they only gave me $5 for it in cash or $10 in-store credit. So I just used half my in-store credit to get the one book that I got, and I'm never really super impressed with them. I prefer Mr. K's, although Mr. K's is also really, really small. So yeah, it's just like a gamble with both of them sometimes, and you just never really know what you're gonna find. But it is starting to get dark out already, so we are gonna go ahead and head to our second bookstore, and then on my way back home we will stop by Barnes & Noble for a couple books that I think I want to get myself. Not sure yet. Barnes & Noble is always super expensive, and I prefer supporting like local stores much more. But yeah, let's just go on to store number 2 and see what we can find.
It's 2 a.m. and I can't fall asleep, 'cause I'm not tired. I'm thinking about the days we used to shine when we were young. I told you that we should start a band and reach for the sky. It's 2 a.m. and I can't fall asleep, I'm just not tired. I can hear the raindrops falling. It's cold outside, and I kinda feel like calling, but it's too late now. I just miss you. I just miss you. We were such a constellation, right? No, you'd agree. Made a reputation for ourselves at age 18. We had the devil on our shoulders telling us what we should do. I wonder if you think about me too. I can hear the raindrops falling. It's cold outside.
Okay, well, store number 2 was a magnificent success. I got 9 books, so that happened, but I only paid $30 for all of them because I had $20 in store credit. Amazing. A lot of them are like some really good backlist titles that I've been wanting to read, so very excited about these books. Anyways, I am getting very tired and very hungry, so we're gonna make a quick trip into Barnes & Noble. I don't know if I'm gonna end up getting what I wanted to at Barnes & Noble because this trip was such a success to this store, so I'm gonna browse really, really quick, see what I can find, so that way I can get home and eat and we can do a little book haul because I'm very excited about the books that I just picked up. So anyways, let's keep going on a little bookstore hopping trip. Obviously, we're back from the bookstores. Let me tell you guys, it was so wet and rainy out there. I had to do a little touch up because I thought I was gonna look like a wet rat. Anyways, we are back home with a hot cup of tea, ready to share with you guys the 13 books that I was able to find today, and I am so excited, genuinely, for each and every one of these. My town that I live in is very like local based. There's a lot of book thrift stores, there's a lot of library sales, so I'm super thankful for that. I know not everyone gets that, but a lot of these books were $5 and under. That's crazy. I did not spend a fortune on these, probably like $30 for 9 of these books, maybe 20, something like that. So really good deals and steals, and a lot of these are backlist titles. I did pick up a couple newer ones at Barnes & Noble, but a lot of these aren't going to be like super new books to you, but maybe I can convince you to pick them up. Let's go ahead and dive right into this giant stack of books. So I'm not going to go in any particular order with these other than the bookstores that I found them in. So I'm going to start with 2nd and Charles. I found Orphan Island, which is a middle grade book. I don't know much about it at all other than I think it won an award, and it's blurbed by Kelly Barnhill, who I absolutely adore. She wrote Girl Who Drank the Moon, and I love that book. I figured if she blurbed it, she also enjoyed it, and couldn't resist picking this one up. I do know that it's about an orphanage where a boat comes once a year and it drops a new child off and then it picks one up to take away forever. So I think it's a little bit of maybe magical realism involved. Really not sure, but I have been eyeing this one for quite a while now, so I was glad I found it. And then moving on to Mr. K's, I found Nevermore, The Trials of Morgan Crow. I have read this once, but it was a long time ago. Do not own a copy. I own the second one, Wondersmith, and this is my all-time favorite middle grade series, and I do not own it. So for reasons, I obviously had to pick this one up. I'm going to be doing a reread at some point, I'm sure, but I just couldn't resist picking this one up, especially since it was only $3. This is very similar to kind of like the Chosen One trope with Harry Potter in a way. A lot of people have compared it to that, and I can definitely see why people say that because there's similar like magic systems and how this works. So basically we have a girl who's cursed and she escapes from her town and has to enter this competition to like earn her keep in the new town. She discovers a lot about herself along the way, and I'm just obsessed with this series. If you guys haven't picked it up, out of all of these books that I got, please pick this one up no matter what age you are because it is so good. And then going into the young adult category, I found To All the Boys I've Loved Before, which may be a little bit of a surprise to you because I typically don't read young adult romance at all, but I am obsessed with these movies, and that's what got me interested in wanting to actually pick this book series up because the movies were so well done, so bright and colorful. I love the characters, literally everything about that series. I know I don't have to explain this one to you guys because it's been around for a long time, but yeah, I love this one. It's so sweet, and I just love the family, the sister dynamic, the friends. You just can't go wrong with the series, so it's about time that I read it. And then we have A Great and Terrible Beauty by Libba Bray that I am so stoked that I found. I have read The Diviners, and that is one of my all-time favorite books ever. I know I don't mention it a lot, but that's mostly because I've only read the first book, but I love her writing, and I know this is an earlier series from her. I don't know much about this. I think it is like a historical paranormal story, if I'm not mistaken, and I know this girl, the main character, has a tragedy that strikes in her family, so she moves off this academy, and then there's this mysterious man that's like following her, and she's having visions, and it's very paranormal but also like mysterious, and I don't know what to expect from this at all. I think there's a little bit of romance involved, but it's during the Victorian age, so that's about the extent of my knowledge, but I do love Libba Bray with all my heart. I cannot wait until she writes something new. Very excited about this one. I also found The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer, and I do know this one is a series. I do know that this girl could have been killed in an accident. She's lost her memory. She miraculously survived, but her family has to move to a complete different town because of a fallout of some sort. She meets this boy, obviously, and that's all I know. I know it's paranormal, so possibly vampires, maybe werewolves, I don't know, but very intrigued as to why people love this series so much. And then we have The Demon King by Cinda Williams Chima. I do know this is a series, and the only reason I picked this up is because Reagan from Peruse Project loves this, claims that it's still her favorite series to this day, and I have to know why. Because if Reagan recommends a fantasy book or series, I will pick it up. So that's basically why I picked this one up. No other reason other than I really would like to go into it blind. I just read the word wizard on the back. Sounds really cool. For some reason I was thinking this was an adult book, but it is young adult, which makes me happy because young adult is always easier for me to understand than adult. So looking forward to this one. House of Holo I also decided to pick up. I've been waiting to pull the trigger on buying this one for a while now. This one was still $10, so not exactly a steal, but I can't find it on Amazon for that cheap. I have not seen people shut up about this book, so therefore I had to pick it up for myself, see what it's all about. I do know this takes place in a Scottish city, and there's two sisters, two girls that run away and I guess go missing, but in their new town they have some really weird, intricate, like interesting features about themselves. Like it says that their eerie occurrences seem to follow in their wake. People find them disturbingly intoxicating, unbearably beautiful, and inexplicably dangerous. I have no clue what to expect from this. It's pretty short, so I'm hoping to maybe do like a reading vlog or something on it. Super stoked for this one. This is one of my like highly anticipated releases for this year, so had to get it. And then going into some adult books real quick, we have an adult fantasy, The Lost Queen, and honestly I've just been wanting to get way more into adult fantasy because I feel like I've outgrown young adult fantasy a little bit, and I feel like this is a pretty decent start, I guess. Introducing Lagareth, a forgotten queen of 6th century Scotland and sister of the man who inspired the legend of Merlin. Honestly, I picked this up on Kaylin's recommendation. She said she read this and she loved it, but it is more historical with like a hint of magic. It's not exactly fantasy, it's more magical realism because these people think that there is magic. Anything Kaylin likes, I usually like, so I know it's probably going to be a good one. I also decided to pick up Cross Her Heart by Sarah Pinborough, which Sarah Pinborough right there sold me because I love Behind Her Eyes. I never saw that plot twist coming. I thought the show was really, really true to the book and I just wanted to pick something else up from her. I do know this is about, I think, a single mom who's kind of like hovering over her teenage daughter, and her teenage daughter's just kind of getting tired of it. But this is another psychological thriller. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know, but I'm very eager to see. Another book that I so happened to stumble across that I was very excited to see is Hostage by Claire McIntosh. I am really, really looking forward to this one. It is on a plane, and I'm gonna read you the first portion because it's scary. Despite the buzz in the air, the inaugural non-stop flight between London and Sydney is just another day for flight attendant Mina, a way to put some distance between herself and the secrets that are devastating her marriage and burdening her already troubled 5-year-old daughter, until she gets the note. The following instructions will save your daughter's life. Plane crashes and anything that's like makes me claustrophobic is just terrifying to me. Don't know why I bought it except for that reason, because I feel like I've never seen a thriller or anything like that on just a plane before, and I skimmed through this a little bit and flipped through the pages and it looks like there's timestamps, there's different passenger points of view. I have no clue what to expect from this, but I've been hearing amazing things about this one, so yeah, gonna be picking this up very, very soon. And then the last 3 books I did end up picking up at Barnes & Noble, and these weren't on special sale or anything like that, but the manga section always gets me. And then I was able to find All of Us Villains. Very excited for that, but I figured I'd talk about the manga first. I decided to pick up the 2nd volume of The Girl from the Other Side. I read the first one of this a long, long time ago. Don't know why I didn't finish picking it up. The artwork is very, very dark and kind of scary. There's not very many words in this, so you can get through this extremely fast, but it's an 11-book series that I think just wrapped up. The guy told me at the register that they're actually making this into an anime, which I'm very interested to see because I hope It's really gorgeous. The inside of this is very dark and bleak, so I really don't know how they would bring it to life if they did put it in color. There's basically this little girl named Shiva and this monster, kind of like magical creature who she calls Teacher, and she wants to find her parents but doesn't know where they are. There's like this insider and outsider type people, and the outsiders can't touch the insiders or they'll be cursed. Kind of a little bit of an interesting magical system. If you are in the market for some new manga, you've never read manga before, this is a really good place to start. And then we have Happy Sugar Life, which has caught my attention multiple times in this store. The cover just looks enticing, like she looks in a trance, and then the back just has like this cute little girl. I looked it up, and apparently this is a crime, like psychological thriller. So you have these characters where you start off with this girl who lives in an apartment. She's taking care of, I guess, either her younger sister or someone like that. I don't know if she's like a babysitter. But the back says lies, crime. This must be what love is, theft. That is what she thought, murder. In order to protect this feeling, anything goes. She would do anything to be with her. I've heard it also has a little bit of a horror twist on it, but flipping through these pages, I don't get that at all. So I'm very intrigued to see where this goes. I have read very few mystery, like thriller, crime type mangas. It's usually slice of life or something fantasy. Very, very interested to see how this one goes. If you guys have read this, definitely let me know. And I was very excited to find out that they did have some copies left of All of Us Villains by Amanda Foody. I have been dying to get my hands on this one ever since it released. I just bit the bullet. I had to do it. I am planning to read this next month in January. I've heard it is compared to the Hunger Games. It's kind of like this tournament in a way where there's families and the prize is exclusive control over this like magical wellspring. So I'm assuming like magic over the whole land of some sort. I guess they all fight to the death. I really don't know. I kind of want to go into it blind. I'm very, very interested to see what happens. This is one of my anticipated releases this year that I was just waiting for the perfect time to pick up. Okay guys, well I think that is it for this video. Thank you so much for coming book shopping with me. It's a little bit out of my comfort zone to film in public. I'm not gonna lie, I actually have a big DSLR camera that I decided not to bring in with me. I shot a lot of this from my phone, so I'm just hoping the footage turned out okay. But I really like stretching myself here and there when it comes to filming in public. I hope you guys still enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed seeing some of the books that I picked up. I had such a fun time just taking myself on a little book date and getting some new reads for this upcoming year. Thanks so much for joining me. Thank you for always being here and supporting my channel. I appreciate you all so much. I hope you guys are having a great holiday season, and I will see you in my next video.